Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inspiration Morning Live. I am Christina Crowley, and I want to thank you for being here today. I help people who are going after their passion, and I am a multi-passionate person. And there are days when we ebb and flow in how we feel, and that's what I want to talk about today. And I struggle with that from time to time myself. We all have different levels of what we're doing and energy that we have, for a number of variety of reasons. Some of it's emotional and some of it's physical. And so that's what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is doing your best. Doing your best. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me. As always, I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate the hearts. I appreciate the shares. And I appreciate you watching live today. I really think it's great. I appreciate the personal messages. Those are fun too. And, it's a beautiful Wednesday morning here in Denver. And, for me, I was very influenced by the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I know Oprah put out that book years ago, and she talked about it. She talked with him and the four agreements, and one of those four agreements is doing your best, always doing your best. And that is, some days your best is a 10, and some days your best is a 4. Some days maybe you have a cold, maybe you don't feel good, maybe there's just a number of reasons why your best is only a 5 rather than your best being a 10 where you want it to be and where you've experienced it before. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about. Always doing your best, in no matter what situation. I think when you do that, it opens you up to, more of the opportunities around you. Because I know there are times when, if I fall behind, and I do, there's times when I have so much to do, I fall behind on certain things, and then something comes around where I was like, oh, if I would have been caught up. If I would have been, working like I wanted to, I would have had blah opportunity. But then I have to think about it. I was doing my best. I do always try to do my best. And sometimes my best it's not good, but it is my best. And as long as I always want to do my best, then I'm doing my best. And I know it's a heady kind of concept. It's something that, any number of people, will go, that's just mumbo jumbo. But I really do believe in it. I do believe in doing your best. And, because there are sometimes there's things that we haven't worked out how they affect us. And until we work it out, it's going to make us feel in a way that may affect our daily, how we want to act and behave and work. So until we work things out, then it's going to. I know for me, there are times when I just, I'm overworked, I'm tired, I get burnt out. But that makes me realize I need to figure out how to get rid of that burnout. What did I do to let that burnout come up so that it affects my best? And when I work on that, when I make sure that my burnout goes away, that I've effectively deal with my burnout, then I'm able to do my best. In doing your best, it is relative. I know there, me, I've done triathlons before, and my best at the triathlon was finishing. And, for me, I was proud of that, but I saw other athletes there whose best was, finishing in the top 10%. I know some of the people that I trained with, their best was finishing in the top 10%. They were athletes. They were awesome. And I was unbelievably proud that my best was finishing. And I did finish. And I know that there were people who couldn't finish. And I did my best in training to know that I would be able to finish. And you had to finish before a certain amount of time. But I remember one of them. I think it was my second triathlon that I did. And there was this famous triathlete star there. I can't remember her name at the moment, but she always would go and run the last mile. And she would make sure she was the last finisher so that nobody who was doing the triathlons would be the last finisher. And I just thought, wow, that is, that's an amazing mindset. That is something wonderful to do for people, so that in their own mindset, they don't go, I was last. And I know that, that's a powerful statement to make. That's helping somebody rearrange what their best is in their mind. Millie is here wanting her walk. So she's, if you see me looking to the side, making sure she doesn't take the lamp off of the table. Platzi, please. Platzi, girl. Platzi. She's like, no, I'm waiting for you to go out. But that's my dog, Millie. Those of you who've watched me from time to time, she does stop and say, hey, because she knows it's time to go out after, I'm done with this, because we normally go out walking after I do my live. And, sometimes when I started this, doing my best was getting on here and putting a complete sentence together. Now I put a complete sentence together. I'm not as nervous. And when Millie walks into the room and distracts me, I can kind of go back. My best has changed. My best isn't as perfect as somebody who is truly polished of being on camera all the time. And so that for me is why I talk about there is a range of your best. Sometimes your best improves. Now, my best sometimes, I know on Mondays or when I've been off camera for a while, I get on and I talk, and after I'm finished, I'm like, how did I get through that? My best does wax and wane. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me. I am happy that you're here today. We're talking about doing your best, and doing your best, how some days your best is a 10 and some days your best is a 5. And there's all kinds of reasons for that, but it's in acknowledging that and not being really critical of yourself, so that, tomorrow your best can be an 8. So the day after your best can be a 10. So the day after, if you're not feeling well, if you're tired, I know what the time change, and it gets darker earlier. We went back to standard time here. I know we do that here in Colorado. It's, it's darker. We're dark. It's dark when we're having dinner. It's dark when people are driving home from work, and it changes how you feel about things. There's many things that affect your best, and I think it's just being aware of it. Figure out what affects your best, and how can you counter that? How can you counter that? I know for me, when it gets darker in the mornings, it's harder for me to get up earlier and earlier, but it's only hard for about the first 10 minutes. Once I'm out of bed for about 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm up. And then I go on. And I know that about myself. And so that I can, I make a goal of getting out of bed before 7 o'clock every morning, and in the summers before 6 o'clock. I would love to get up even earlier, because I like The Miracle Morning. I really enjoyed that book. I really believe that it's amazing. And I would like to be up even earlier. And sometimes I am. Sometimes I will be. So doing your best. What is your best? What affects your best? And how can you counter that? I think that's the real pivotal role in figuring that out. And when you know what your best is, and you know that your best waxes and wanes, then you can either teach it to other people about doing your best and what that is, or you can just kind of understand people and where they're at in their day, whether their best isn't their best that you've seen from them. And alrighty, so I want to say thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate those of you who watch through the whole thing, and those of you who watch in the replay. It's really important to me that you do take the time, because I know our schedules don't always mesh. Our schedules aren't always the same, and where it's 8 a.m. for me, I know in England it's several hours later, 7 hours later. So it doesn't always work out. And but thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the parts that you do. It's I am honored. And but today I am I love fall, and I love my coffee, and I love my mugs. Today I have my snowman. I really enjoy my snowman. He is one of my favorite mugs. He's tiny. I can only have a small cup of coffee in it or a small cup of cocoa, and I love a few marshmallows on top. But when they melt down, it's for me. This is how I start celebrating the season, and it's just something that I look forward to and that I enjoy. Uh, it's just one of those little things that I'm kind of passionate about as being a multi-passionate woman. And all right, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And if you feel that this, has had some value, if talking about doing your best today makes you think about your best in a different way, let me know. Feel free to let me know in the comments. I do appreciate those comments. And please feel free to share this Facebook Live if you feel that there has been some, if you feel this has been helpful. I really do appreciate those shares. And, I do look forward to seeing you on my next Facebook Live. Ta-ta for now. You ready, Millykins?